please rise and stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please have the reading of the mission statement.
Richmond Community Schools guides students on pathways of learning to a future of limitless possibilities.
Thank you, Mr. Zaleski, and the vision statement.
Richmond Community Schools, a collaborative community nurturing mind, body, and spirit to prepare students for lives of choice, purpose, and service.
Thank you. Based on the recommendation of our attorney, we are going to have a modification in the agenda here to first present the administrative recommendation. We are going to be reading a resolution and then opening the floor for public comment, and then we will have the recommendation. We will have the board able to then discuss and then take a final vote. So everyone understand that? Any other comments?
President Stoles, I just simply wanted to also highlight the fact that we have Member Brunton that is attending virtually. She can hear as well as interact and engage, and will be able to participate in our evening's proceedings.
Okay, thank you. All right. So as far as the resolution that's being read, would you like to call in for that?
And so with that, President Stoles, trustees, I want to ask that our Chief Human Resource Officer, Mrs. Jamie Golden, read the resolution recommendation as presented. This is both before we go through.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you, Board. Board of School Trustees of the Richmond Community Schools Resolution establishing teacher supplemental payments, resolution number 2023-2. Whereas the Indiana General Assembly enacted legislation codified in Indiana Code 20-28-9-1.5 subsection A, authorizing a school corporation to provide a supplemental payment to a teacher in excess of the salary specified in the school corporation's compensation plan. And whereas the Board of School Trustees of the Richmond Community Schools Board believes that the provision of a supplemental payment is in the best interest of Richmond Community Schools and its teachers to meet the academic needs of students and is necessary to retain and attract effective and highly effective teachers. And whereas RCS is especially at risk of loss of teachers whose salary does not appropriately reflect years of experience in education. Whereas such a supplement is by statute not subject to collective bargaining, but must be discussed with the teacher's exclusive representative. And whereas dialogue has been held with the Richmond Education Association regarding the risk of loss of teachers whose salary does not appropriately reflect years of experience in education, as well as other related matters on the following dates: June 16, 2022, August 3rd, 2022, September 8, 2022, September 12, 2022, November 16, 2022, December 15, 2022, March 8, 2023, May 8, 2023, May 9, 2023, and was to occur on May 4, 2023. And whereas discussion has been held with the REA regarding supplemental payments on the following dates: August 3rd, 2022, May 8, 2023, May 9, 2023. Now therefore be it resolved that supplemental payments made under this resolution will be granted as retirement credible stipends that are subject to applicable taxes and other withholdings, and be it further resolved that the board does hereby authorize the following supplemental payments for each bargaining unit member employed with RCS for the 22-23 school year who received a highly effective or an effective rating on their 22-23 completed performance evaluation and returns for the 23-24 school year. 1. A stipend of $525 shall be distributed in 2 equal installments on or before October 30th, 2023 and on or before March 30th, 2024 for teachers employed on October 1, 2023 and March 1, 2024 respectively. 2A, a teacher with 0 years of teaching experience for the 22-23 school year with a bachelor's degree whose base salary is currently $43,250 will receive an additional supplemental payment stipend of $3,500. This payment will be spread equally throughout the pay periods for the 23-24 contract year. 2B, a teacher with 1 year of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree whose base salary is currently $43,250 will receive a supplemental payment of $3,750. C, a teacher with 1 year of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree whose base salary is currently $43,500 will receive a supplemental payment of $3,500. D, a teacher with 2 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree whose base salary is currently $43,250 will receive a supplemental payment of $4,000. E, a teacher with 2 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree whose base salary is currently $43,500 will receive a supplemental payment of $3,750. F, a teacher with 3 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree whose base salary is currently $43,250 will receive a supplemental payment of $4,250. G, a teacher with 4 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree whose base salary is currently $43,250 will receive a supplemental payment of $2,500. H, a teacher with 5 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree whose base salary is currently $43,750 will receive a supplemental payment of $4,250. I, a teacher with 6 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree whose base salary is $43,750 will receive a supplemental payment of $4,500. J, a teacher with 6 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree whose base salary is currently $44,250 will receive a supplemental payment of $4,000. K, a teacher with 7 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree whose base salary is currently $43,250 will receive a supplemental payment of $5,250. L, a teacher with 7 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree whose base salary is currently $43,750 will receive a supplemental payment of $4,750. M, a teacher with 7 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree whose base salary is currently $44,569 will receive a supplemental payment of $3,931. N, a teacher with 8 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree whose base salary is currently $42,779 will receive a supplemental payment of $5,971. O, a teacher with 8 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree whose base salary is currently $44,000 will receive a supplemental payment of $4,750. P, a teacher with 8 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree whose base salary is currently $44,250 will receive a supplemental payment of $4,500. Q, a teacher with 8 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree whose base salary is currently $44,543 will receive a supplemental payment of $4,207. R, a teacher with 8 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree whose base salary is currently $44,779 will receive a supplemental payment of $3,971. S, a teacher with 8 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree whose base salary is currently $45,043 will receive a supplemental payment of $3,707. T, a teacher with 9 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree whose base salary is currently $44,543 will receive a supplemental payment of $4,457. U, a teacher with 9 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree whose base salary is currently $44,779 will receive a supplemental payment of $4,221. V, a teacher with 10 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree whose current base salary is $43,404 will receive a supplemental payment of $5,846. W, a teacher with 10 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's with a current base of $44,779 will receive a supplemental payment of $4,471. X, a teacher with 10 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree, whose current base is $45,405, will receive a supplemental payment of $3,845. Y, a teacher with 11 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree, whose current base salary is $45,404, will receive a supplemental payment of $4,096. Z, a teacher with 12 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree, whose base salary is currently $45,860, will receive a supplemental payment of $3,890. A teacher with 12 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree, whose base salary is currently $46,127, will receive a supplemental payment of $3,623. A teacher with 13 years with a bachelor's, whose current base is $46,660, will receive a supplement of $3,340. With 13 years, bachelor, $47,512, will receive a supplement of $2,488. 14 years with a bachelor's, current base $48,20, will receive a supplement of $2,230. A teacher with 14 years with a bachelor's at $48,137 will receive a supplemental payment of $2,113. With 15 years of teaching experience with the bachelor's, currently at $49,311, will receive $1,437. With 15 years, bachelor's, $49,379, will receive a supplemental payment of $1,369. Teacher with 16 years with a bachelor's, currently making $50,748, will receive a supplement of $1,368. With 17 years and a bachelor at $52,116, will receive $1,367. Teacher with 18 years of teaching experience with the bachelor's, currently making $53,483, will receive a supplement payment of $250. A teacher with 20 years of experience with a bachelor's, whose base is currently $55,853, will receive a supplemental payment of $481. A teacher with 20 years with a bachelor, who is currently making $56,208, will receive a supplemental payment of $126. A teacher with 21 years of teaching experience with a bachelor, whose current base is $56,334, will receive a supplement of $539. A teacher with 22 years of teaching experience with a bachelor, who currently makes $56,873, will receive a supplemental payment of $831. A teacher with 22 years with a bachelor at $56,892 will receive $812. A teacher with 22 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's, currently at $57,559, will receive a supplement of $145. A teacher at 23 years with a bachelor at $57,704 will receive $500. A teacher with 23 years with a bachelor at $58,059 will receive a supplement of $145. A teacher with 24 years of teaching experience with a bachelor, currently at $58,204, will receive a supplement of $250. A teacher with 29 years of teaching experience with a bachelor, currently at $58,853, will receive a supplement of $1,147. A teacher with 29 years of teaching experience with a bachelor with a current salary of $59,208 will receive a supplement of $792. A teacher with 36 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's degree, whose base salary is currently $56,853, will receive a supplement payment of $3,147. A teacher with 38 years of teaching experience with a bachelor's with a current base of $58,853 will receive a supplement of $1,147. A teacher with 0 years of teaching experience with a master's, who is currently at $44,250, will receive a supplement of $2,750. A teacher with 0 years of teaching experience with a master's degree, whose base is $44,750, will receive a supplement of $2,250. A teacher with 1 year with a master at $44,250 will receive $3,000. 2 years with a master at $44,250 will receive $3,250. Teacher with 3 years with a master's at $44,250 will receive $3,500. 4 years with a master at $44,750 will receive $3,250. A teacher with 5 years of teaching with a master's at $44,750 will receive $3,500. With 6 years with a master at $43,750 will receive a supplement of $4,750. A teacher with 6 years of teaching experience with a master's, currently at $44,250, will receive $4,250. 7 years with a master's, currently at $46,179, will receive a supplement payment of $2,571. A teacher with 8 years of experience with a master's at $45,308 will receive $3,692. Teacher with 8 years with a master's at $46,389 will receive a supplement of $2,611. A teacher with 9 years with a master's at $45,250 will receive $4,000. Teacher at 9 years with a master's at $46,389 will receive $2,861. Teacher at 10 years with a master's at $47,415 will receive $2,085. A teacher with 10 years with a master, currently at $48,584, will receive $916. 11 years master at $45,889 will receive $3,861. Teacher with 11 years with a master's at $47,014 will receive $2,736. 11 years with a master's at $47,415 will receive $2,335. 11 years with a master at $48,584 will receive $1,166. 11 years with the master, currently at $48,771, will receive $979. 12 years with the master's, currently at $48,716, will receive $1,284. 13 years with a master, currently at $48,771, will receive $1,479. 14 years with a master's, currently making $50,304, will receive a supplement of $444. Teacher with 14 years with a master's at $50,304 will get $444. 15 years with a master's at $51,334 will receive $2,726. 15 years with a master, currently at $51,834, will receive $2,226. A teacher with 15 years with a master's at $52,871 will receive $1,189. A teacher with 16 years with a master's, currently at $54,060, will receive $846. Teacher with 17 years of experience with a master's at $54,906 will receive $1,529. Teacher with 18 years with a master's, currently at $56,435, will receive a supplement of $1,538. A teacher with 19 years of teaching with a master's degree who currently makes $57,973 will receive a supplement of $1,535. Teacher with 20 years with a master's who currently makes $59,508 will receive $1,533. A teacher with 20 years with a master's, currently at $60,724, will receive a supplement of $317. A teacher with 21 years of teaching experience with a master's degree, currently makes $61,041, will receive a supplement of $1,530. 21 years with a master's, currently at $62,258, will receive $313. Teacher with 22 years with a master's, currently at $62,571, will receive a supplement of $1,540. A teacher with 22 years with a master's, currently at $63,806, will receive a supplement of $305. A teacher with 23 years with a master's, currently at $64,111, will receive a supplement of $1,480. Teacher with 24 years with a master's, currently making $65,591, will receive a supplement of $1,588. A teacher with 24 years with a master's, currently making $65,644, will receive $1,535. A teacher with 25 years with a master's, currently making $67,179, will receive a supplement of $1,529. A teacher with 25 years with a master's, currently making $68,410, receives a supplement of $298. Teacher with 26 years with a master's, currently making $68,708, will receive a supplement of $783. Teacher with 26 years with a master's, currently making $68,716, will receive $775. With 27 years with a master's, currently making $69,491, will receive $750. Teacher with 28 years with a master's, currently making $70,241, will receive a supplement of $1,326. Teacher with 28 years with a master's, currently making $70,518, will receive a supplement of $1,049. Teacher with 28 years with a master's, currently making $71,485, will receive a supplement of $82. A teacher with 29 years with a master's, currently making $71,567, will receive $1,525. Teacher with 32 years with a master's, current base is $72,230, will receive a supplement of $262. With 32 years with a master's, currently making $72,282, will receive $810. Teacher with 34 years with a master's, currently making $72,017, will receive a supplement of $678. Teacher with 45 years of teaching experience with a master's with a base salary of $72,485, will receive a supplement of $607. And be it further resolved that the administration is hereby authorized to take all actions necessary or desirable to carry out the intent of this resolution. Those amounts read individually are in addition to the $525 stipend that would be awarded to all teachers who completed the 22-23 school year and began the 23-24 school year, who were employed as of October 1 of this next school year.
Thank you. Thank you for reading the resolution, and so we all know what we are discussing this evening. And just to confirm, Jamie, this resolution does reflect a change in direction from what was discussed at last week's work session, correct?
Yes, it just takes into account the feedback that we received and the intent to provide a retention stipend, and then this allows us to further go through the process of collective bargaining to provide a get to a salary schedule so that we can continue for the years to come. But this addresses a supplemental payment for the 23-24 school year to retain those teachers, and as you can see, it's really wide ranging to address some of the gaps that we have seen with years of experience as well as with education.
Okay, so this would just be, this would still allow us to bargain, is what?
Absolutely.
Okay, okay. Without further ado, let's open it up for public commentary then. How many do we have? Kim? We have three. Three? Okay. Yes.
Ms. Stoltz, having at least heard the gist of the resolution that has embodied the administrative recommendation, I would suggest that anyone who would wish now to sign up for public commentary after having heard it, who didn't, be permitted to do so.
Thank you. Yes. If anyone else would like to sign up for public commentary, you are welcome to do so at this time. Okay. All right. So if we could go ahead and call the first person, and then I will read the public commentary rules and guidelines. Okay. So right before, let me go ahead and read these. Okay. For those who wish to comment at this evening's board meeting, the maximum time to speak is 5 minutes. Please keep your comments fact-based and within the time permitted. Comments are not to be personally directed or abusive. Comments recognizing the work of staff and students are always welcome. However, critical remarks concerning specific school personnel or students are to be made through the complaint process available in policy 8130. School board members do not respond to the public comments during the meeting, but you will receive a personal follow-up email from the board president. Thank you.
All right, I usually come with something prepared, and I don't have anything prepared tonight. I will say, that was one heck of a reading there. That was, and you must have done a lot of math to get there. I mean, wow. I will say that when I was watching the board meeting from last week, and with the information that we had received prior to tonight, I had a lot of concerns. We've got a lot of really great teachers, and it wasn't clear where everyone was until you started reading. I do believe that collective bargaining is very, very valuable. I also believe that our employees are very, very valuable and should be paid as such. I would like to say, when we look at the salary schedule that was in last week's board meeting, if I compare the only salary that I truly know, which is my own, to the contract, the master contract with the salary schedule from 2008 and 2010, it's basically the same, okay? So 15 years, I just want you to take that, you know, just think about that. But I know that through the negotiations process, talks with our executive board, REA executive board, that you guys are going to be able to iron this out through the negotiations process. So thank you to all people who have been working on this.
Thank you. All right, next, Kim.
Kelly McDermott. Good evening. Mrs. Stoltz, this may be one of those moments where, as president, I ask your indulgence on time, particularly because this is such a challenging issue. I do want to say that it is the position of ISTA and REA that the board moving forward with this would, and I hope I didn't just disconnect, may have.
They're trying to take care of you in the back, I do believe. Yeah, they appreciate it.
Anyway, I do hope that, I hope I didn't just disconnect her.
That's okay. We'll get her back.
I was a little worried about her when she put her hand over her heart. I was thinking, I hope she's in the passenger seat, but,
Kim, let's go ahead and start the time after.
let me move this over to the side. And
So
she's
let's
looking
do a
at me
reboot.
now. I'm trying a little harder, but, anyway, it is the position of REA and ISTA that, this proposal has not gone through the proper collective bargaining protocol. And, you know, and as well as you know, that's outlined in Indiana Code 2028-9 1.5. Now, one of the reasons why we believe that to be the case is supplemental, literally by definition, means in addition to. There hasn't been anything bargained yet. We're not even in the formal bargaining window. We're allowed to informally bargain. We could literally tonight sit here, come up with the agreement, but we can't stamp it official till September 15th, according to Indiana Code. So the law clearly gives the association the right to bargain salary, wages, and benefits. What was just outlined for you is not only salary, but salary ranges that are very clearly salary ranges. Not, you know, supplemental pay was intended to be, we need a physics teacher, we're gonna offer you $3,000 to draw you here. I think this is an abuse of any language regarding supplemental pay, and I think it's an incorrect interpretation of that. And just for clarity, I'm not an attorney, with all respect, Mr. Cross, so I'm just gonna say that is on the advice of our counsel, not just on my lack of legal knowledge, but my experience immediately told me that we were into territory that we should not be in yet, because though it was referenced that we have discussed the problems that we see with the compensation model, that in fact is true. This has been an ongoing conversation since 2011. We have been discussing this at every bargaining session, and frequently at discussion, and frequently away from discussion in my private meetings with the superintendent. But you just heard that between the work session last week and the meeting this week, the compensation has changed, the model has changed again. I was not informed of that. This is the first I've heard of that. There's been no real discussion on any of this. The first time I was made aware of this was I had my regular meeting last Monday with the superintendent and Mrs. Bolzer. It was not mentioned. Tuesday morning, I received a confirmation that the REA leadership team and the executive board of the RCS board and the RCS administrative team have confirmed we're all going to get together June 12th to discuss this very issue. That afternoon, I come in for a meeting that was requested of me that morning after the confirmation of the June 12th meeting, and I come in and I sit down and this is shared with me. Now, don't get me wrong. It is our goal, obviously, to increase compensation for teachers. That's the whole point. It is also our goal to create an equitable, fair, and logical compensation model, and that's what we're lacking. We share that with Mrs. Bolzer and Dr. Wright and with the board. It's not I'm at this particular point as REA president, I don't even want to get into the numbers because I haven't had an opportunity to analyze them. ISTA, we have not had an opportunity to sit down and analyze them like we would do in a normal collective bargaining process. They have changed apparently since we were last informed of this, since my meeting from last week. And so I cannot get into that conversation because I don't have the relevant and pertinent information. We requested the information on March the 24th, all the bargaining information that is normally provided to ISTA and REA, so that when we meet with the executive committee and with the the RCS leadership team, that we could sit at the table as equal partners and collaborative partners in the process of addressing this very concern. Dr. Wright, from the moment he came to Richmond, told me that one of the things he was hoping to do was to build a collaborative bargaining model based on his experience at Earlham, bringing everyone together, being transparent, being open, being honest. This is anything but. We did not get the information on our bargaining request. We requested it March 24th. We didn't get it until May the 2nd, which is why we had to cancel the May the 4th meeting. That didn't allow us any time to go through and analyze that information. And then, as I said, then I find out the next week that this has already been worked up without our collaboration, without our involvement in any way. Indiana Code says that stipends, salary, wages, benefits must be collectively bargained with the exclusive representative. None of that has taken place. We're not opposed to fixing this problem. I want to be exceedingly clear about that. We are not opposed to fixing this problem. What we are opposed to is stripping the association of its collective bargaining rights, which are legally protected.
Kelly, and I'll give you one more minute.
Thank you. And this does not and will not allow us to do that. We have serious concerns about how this spreadsheet or this plan was developed. We have legal concerns, but in addition to that, we have worked really hard over the last few years to try to build trust that had been broken over previous administrations. We were working very hard. We had made some progress a couple of years ago. We hit some bumpy patches. We were working very hard to rebuild that trust, and this has, I'm sorry, Kristen, this has significantly damaged that trust. And unilaterally developing this without involving the association is a problem that REA is going to assert our collective bargaining rights, and as outlined in Indiana Code, and it's very hard to see this as a collaborative effort because it was not. It's very hard to understand why the board and the administration has promised to sit with us and address this problem, and then unbeknownst to us comes forward with this. I recognize the desire of the administration to attract teachers, to retain teachers, but in the last few days I've heard from teachers across the spectrum, those at the low end, those in the middle, and those at the high, particularly those beyond 15 years who feel like I've stayed through the lean years, through the hard years. I used the example of talking to Dr. Wright earlier today. Teachers at Richmond High School that were here when it was a dropout factory and turned that around and are still here. And this proposal tells them your service is not as valued as a teacher who's been here 8, 9 years. You know, the problem did not occur overnight, and it has always been our position, you know, as a way of protecting the corporation as much as being logical, that it's going to have to be solved in multi-contract, multi-year efforts, taking into consideration that we have to retain not just the 5 and the 15 and the 20-year teacher, but the veteran teacher who serves in leadership and is a mentor to those that are younger. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Kim.
Jay Lee.
How you doing? Jay Lee, Vice President of REA. I'm gonna cede my time to Kelly so she can finish.
I think that's against policy.
I don't, yeah, Ron, are we able?
It's a prerogative of the chair. It's up to you.
I'll give you 2 more minutes. And that's a hard 2, gotta.
Okay. Sorry, I was condensing because I knew I was on the clock, so I think that if we move forward with this, the other problem that I was going to mention is, from what it was shared with me, you are going to encumber 65% of the new money. And then there's an expectation that we're gonna sit down and bargain after September 1st for whatever money remains. That is going to be basically directed toward, if the information that was shared with me is correct, 60% of our folks fall into this area that was specifically addressed, leaving the other 40% of the teachers to deal with what money remains. And there are obviously recurring costs involved that I have no idea whether that money will be there when we hit bargaining or not be there. Quite frankly, at this point, I'm not sure of a lot of anything, because it's really difficult as an association representative, as the president, to think that I'm bargaining, or I'm working with the board president and the superintendent and the HR director to develop a date to meet to discuss this, only to be brought in and told it's done. And that creates significant concerns on trust and collaboration for the association. So I don't know what money the corporation intends to bring to the table in September, but I know that between now and then, that REA will be pursuing legal options on this. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Kim, is that it? Is it 30?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. At this time, we are opening it up for discussion. Dr. Wright, do you want to lead the recommendation and discussion?
Yes, President Stoles and trustees, just as a reminder, again, this being a school board meeting, unlike our work session, the dialogue that will be had at this juncture is just between the board of governments along with cabinet members and those here on the days. Our public commentary portion, including just the last time. And so with that, again, the floor is you all's. Of course, Mrs. Bowler has presented the resolution, and the floor is now open.
I'll start with a motion to approve resolution 2023-2 as presented.
Motion by Mr. Zaleski. Do we have a second?
So I'll second.
Okay. Second by Mr. Walton. Do we have any comments or questions?
I think it's clear in Indiana Code, the 2028-9-1.5, that it highlights specifically the academic needs of the students is the primary focus here, with the focus to retain teachers, and also allows us to provide the differential increases or increments based on years of experience to reduce the gap between the school corporation's minimum teacher salary and the average of the school corporation's minimum and maximum salary. So that's straight out of Indiana Code, and that's clearly what the Indiana Code has allowed this board to do, and that's what this resolution intends to do. Last year we had a 25% turnover rate in teachers, with a couple schools that had turnover rates that were significantly higher than that. And the needs of the students, the ability, the consistency that the students see in those teachers year after year is important, and those relationships that the teachers build with their students is critical in the learning process and to achieve academic success. So the retention of the teachers that we have is critical for their academic success.
I think this is big to the past, 3 bargaining sessions that I've been part of with the union. We've all mentioned it and started to talk about it, and talks have always fallen away from addressing that middle tier. And this is giving us the ability to really address that middle tier teacher, to shore up that 0 to 15, 0 to 18 range of teacher, to where, to your point, the retention's huge. When you are trying to collaborate as a department with new teachers every year, and instead of being able to build on the core teachers that you have there, you're going to have new teachers every year. But if you can minimize the amount of new teachers you have and build and develop your own, we are great at PD, and it feels like we are training teachers for everyone else, and we're not able to keep them here. And I think this is the first step in hopefully solving this in the next several bargaining sessions. And but this gives us it puts it out there that we are trying to address this. We are trying to fix this middle tier when we haven't been able to, work anything out before. We're at least trying to start somewhere.
Jamie, can you remind myself and the public how you came up? I heard all the numbers being read, but how, what you used, what information that you based on adding the different amounts to different levels?
Sure. So honestly, just starting to put every single person in a line, and you just start sorting them and grouping them in similar data points. And once you started looking at similar data points for years of experience that also correlated with education, you could start to see that there was a significant difference as you were looking at those. For example, just looking at 0 to 5 years of experience, we have 35% of our teachers in that 0 to 5, or 111 teachers. They on average make less than, let me not include, here we go. They make on average less than $177.93, because we have some that, based off of how it has been awarded through the historic process, have not kept up in some relation to what the minimum salary should be. So we have 111 teachers, 0 to 5 years, that are on average making $43,072.07. And then you look at the grouping of the 6 to 10, we have 13% of our staff at 6 to 10, on average making $44,902. That's $1,652 more than a beginning teacher, or 3.82%. And then you look at 11 to 15, you have 10% of our staff, and on average making $48,934.72. On average, that's 13% more than a beginning teacher, or $5,684. And then you look at the 16 to 20, we have 11% on average, and keep in mind that 0 to 15 is collectively 60% of our staff. And then the 16 to 20 has about 11%, on average making $57,127, which is starts to get you above the state average. And in nowhere are we saying that this is where we want anybody to even end up. We're just saying we're starting to see a trend, because here, this segment, 16 to 20, on average makes $57,127, or almost $14,000 more than a beginning teacher, which is 32%. So there was certainly a differential between those categories of 11 to 15 and then 16 to 20. Then going further, 21 to 25, we have about 14% of our staff on average making $62,801, which is about $19,500 more, or 45%. So you started seeing a trend up. I will keep going because there were some other things that really started to stand out, such as like the year 31 to 35, on average with the same criteria, they're on average making more than some of the 36 to 40. Some of that is relevant to education criteria. But the other thing that we also really started seeing was when we started looking, we saw, one, you have to work in our district for 13 years to make a beginning amount to what a neighboring school would make. We're losing our teachers to that neighboring school because they can walk in the door with 0 years of experience and make more than it takes them 13 years here to make. And with 60% of our staff being in that 0 to 15 target, that's what really started standing out, saying that is who, of the 25% turnover, that was the vast majority of those that we saw leaving. Furthermore, we started seeing, we had for example, a 22-year teacher with less education making more than a 17-year teacher with less, or with more education. And so there were gaps within, so we were losing those teachers because it didn't even make sense within our current makeup. So we just really wanted to try to right the wrong as far as trying to find a way to provide a supplement to keep these, because the data shows that that's the targeted area that we're losing. We also, because we don't want to lose that 22-year teacher, we said, how can we do this and also make sure that everybody that returns is value and provide them something as well, but also then correct, that 22-year educator within that comparison of the 17. Look at that 7-year educator that's making the beginning teacher of wage here, $43,250. We have a 7-year veteran teacher making the same as a 0-year experienced teacher. And while this is, this is a perfectly imperfect way to at least begin action to address some of these concerns, because I think with 10 years of talking about it, we do have to try to say, what can we do? Our kids deserve that. At 25% turnover, I think it's important to try to do everything we can to retain our staff. This is not the ending. I'm hoping it's just the beginning, and saying what else can we do, because it is just a supplemental payment where we would like to find a long-term solution as well.
Other discussion, thoughts? I know personally, as was mentioned, as has been mentioned time and time again, this has been a problem without a solution for a very long time. And this does provide us with a solution that addresses the immediate bleed, so to speak, the immediate retention issue that we have. It does seem that this also provides us with the ability to still bargain. It sounds like the way this resolution has been written, we would still have the ability to meet together I do feel like we've been trying to do that. We've been wanting to do that. We've been making that a priority, and I hate that this is, personally, I just hate that this is a point of contention right now when I would like to just celebrate the solution and celebrate the fact that we want to pay our teachers and get that gap figured out. But I do understand. I understand REA feeling left out or feeling, that disconnect, as was stated. So, I mean, it's hard for me to feel like, okay, this is a win across the board when we do have that component. However, I feel like this is what's necessary for our teachers to get the money they deserve. They need to have these funds. It's not, I was a teacher. I know what it's like to feel like I need to be making what I need to be making.
Nicole, I'll just add, I mean, someone's been on the board since 16 and part of bargaining more times than not. I mean, it's always on the table and it always comes off the table. I mean, every time it comes off the table. Here's an opportunity, and the work that's gone into this has been tremendous, but to do something a little different, to get the ball rolling, to make a change positive for our teachers, to do what we've said we wanted to do for 8 years now.
Right.
And perfect, no. Let's
Right.
start, we're going to bargaining's in the law. We're going to bargain every year, or every contract, there's going to be bargaining. This is not bargaining. This is a way for us to try to get ahead of the curve and get the ball rolling. And I'm super appreciative of administration for looking at the changes at the state to see how that can utilize. I'm grateful for the money we were given in the last session that we can use in this way. And so I know it's not perfect, and I know people won't be happy, and we will fix it. We will continue to try, but we have to move because we have to do something. Doing it the same way is not working. So, thank you all.
I know I have been hearing from people that are very much in favor of this. What are others hearing?
I've received favorable comments about it as well.
Okay.
There's concern, it's not out there, so there's concern with the unknown. I mean, no one knows what
Right.
it says, so, it'd be difficult to identify your personal self in Jamie's excellent narrative. But I think there will be corrections that will come to light quickly, and we will work on that in this fall.
Interesting enough, just to provide a synopsis on what all has been stated. As we know, the challenge before us comes down to retention. That's the rationale behind what it is that we all have before us this evening. Knowing that we have had such a turnover, and we've experienced that coming out of last summer, going into this past fall, our students, as it was referenced, not being certain as to what their classroom educator would look like, if it's going to be the same. We have that challenge before us when it comes to a sense of urgency. With some of the resignations that we've received, with more that has been discussed and brought to our attention. The goal is to, as was just mentioned, stop the hemorrhaging and or exercise a sense of appreciation for those educators who have committed to RCS when, as I've said time and again, they can choose to be elsewhere. So again, the rationale was with great intention, with a sense of retention, and retaining and keeping those that we have, and also just again trying to exercise a sense of appreciation and value.
You hit on it once again, and I think we've all got to keep centered focus here. The people, the winners out of this, if it passes, are the students. 100% keeping that continuity of staff in the buildings, building on the rapport, building on the relationship with students and staff. It's hard when you're in a school and you've got 25% or 30% of your staff is new every year, and you know it's tough. I can't imagine being an administrator and trying to work with, you know, some of our buildings were 50% last year. I can't imagine trying to bring that staff up to speed and get them to congeal and work together. I mean, is this perfect? No, but is it a starting point? Absolutely. It's I think it needs to be done, and I mean that's what we're all here for, is for the kids. I mean, that's our number one focus, you know, and it's just really, really tough to, you know, to, like John said, to, you know, been part of bargaining past couple sessions, and it just, it gets talked about and then goes away. And it's just, I'm tired of it not getting addressed, and I'd love to see this getting pushed out there.
Any others? Discussion?
If I may, real quick as well, just on some of the wonderful feedback that I have received, and I know Dr. Wright has received too, is, you know, we've received a great amount of commentary that it's relationships, to go to Mr. Walton's point, as far as keeping the stability in the relationship, with the common vision from the administrative team at the building levels to now the teaching at the building levels, all centered around those relationships that are built for our students. I will also say that a common theme has been from some of our veteran teachers who have sat down just saying, we have to find a way to keep the educators here and stabilized, and they have too mentioned you know, that quote unquote middle tier, because it provides an additional undue hardship on them too as their mentors, and trying to also provide them that professional growth and that mentorship as well from school year to school year. So that's been something that I have heard, and I know Mr. Mops had mentioned at our last session as well.
Thank you. All right. Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Zaleski on the table, as well as a second by Mr. Walton. All those in favor say aye.
President,
Yes.
we began the meeting as a virtual meeting. Now it is attended by the virtual attendee. But having begun in that manner, I think I would advise that the votes be by roll call.
Okay. We will do a roll call. So, John, aye or nay?
Aye.
Aaron, aye or nay?
Aye.
Stacy?
Aye.
Kristen?
Aye.
Brad?
Aye.
Nicole? Aye. Pete?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, do we have anything else that we are needing to make comment on prior to adjournment?
I just want to thank the administrative team, Jamie, Karen, Dr. Wright, for the time involved in this. So step one's done. Now what's the communication piece to the staff? What's the plan moving forward?
I feel like the next steps will be to provide employment retention letter to all of those impacted, which is a great deal of our staff. To provide
Every employee is impacted
every
at
employee,
least
yes, by the 525.
Right.
That is correct. So with that regard, everybody will receive a letter. And as with this was done because of the importance through the middle of the night, because of the need to retain our staff. It was done in the wee hours of the night because of the importance of the matter. So with that said, I also know that those letters going out are as of important, and we'll get them out as immediate as we can. Because with this being the goal to retain, we know that those letters need to go out, and each person will get one.
I know you and Karen, and the two of you especially, and people with your staff, been burning the midnight oil for quite some time. Hopefully you guys can get some rest tonight.
Thank you.
So, and maybe another couple waters to
I'll leave
go
that.
along with reading that resolution.
All right, any further comments? All right, we will now adjourn.